Well, hello, it's Andrew Eborn here with another episode of the Andrew Eborn Show and another trip to the ER room, Eborn and Read, with a wonderful poet, laureate, and otherwise known as the radio laureate, Mike Read. How you doing, Mike?
I'm very good. I take it we own all the pillar boxes and things. I've seen ER on the pillar boxes. Do we own those?
I think we do. I think we should go
Okay.
and claim them. I've got to get a letter to you. We'll use ER, the emergency room. Well, it could be RE, couldn't it? Religious education. Because you on your breakfast show, you have a vicar, Mike Read, as well, don't you?
We have, yeah, absolutely. He's a 6'4" guitar playing, keyboard wielding vicar. Who is the vicar of 2 parishes and chaplain of the East Lancs Railway. And I made him chaplain of the breakfast show as well. So very, very good. So he comes on at the end of every show on Facebook and just, issues his blessings to everyone, to all the listeners. So yes, we are the only program on radio, on British radio, that has its own chaplain.
I love it. Well, blessings and pardons, I imagine.
Yes, we're all looking for salvation and absolution. So he dispenses that as well.
Well, absolutely. And the other thing we're all longing to hear are those immortal words, aren't they? This is your captain speaking. We're longing for that moment where we can go again on holiday. And rather menacingly and teasingly and in that terribly upsetting way, they even have a national vacation day.
Yeah, irony upon irony, isn't it, really? Hey, it's National Vacation Day. You can't go, but it's National Vacation Day. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But in spite of all of that, you've managed to pen a little bit of your poetry. Over to you, National Poetry.
Yes.
Go for it. Vacation.
Well, it's a plan for Vacation Day. It was, that was the day is actually called Plan for Vacation Day.
Oh, Plan for Vacation Day.
Yeah, Plan for Vacation Day. Yeah, so you can plan, yeah. Plan for Vacation Day should be renamed That'll Be the Day. You can't go away. If you try to go to Mauritius, the authorities get vicious. And if you want a holiday in the States with your mates, they won't even let you through the airport gates. And you can't say goodbye and fly to Hawaii. Just try. Or Thailand. They'll slap you on the hand, treat you like contraband. You're on your own. You're a one-man band trying to get to a distant land for some sea and sand. Now you can't just whiz off to the French Riviera, pay your farer, take to the Era, or go down to Demerara. It's a no-go, a no-no, a no-show. Say it ain't so, Joe Vacation. You can't go to a station or an air terminal. It's criminal. So you can't escape. They've closed the gate, albeit a year too late.
Hey. When you can go on a holiday, Mike Read, where will you go?
Well, I was meant to go to Barbados to do radio programs in February and then on to Jamaica in March. So they'd be in abeyance until later in the year at some point. So I guess the next 2 places will be Barbados and Jamaica again, which I love, apart from the mosquitoes. Oh, it's the worst. The worst part of it. I love the rest of it.
I love Barbados. I was there this time last year, and on Facebook every now and again, they obviously pop up these memories. And there I was in Sandy Lane and the beaches and looking a bit like a lobster myself because it was quite hard. But I love Barbados. It's wonderful. One of my favorite places, actually, not apart from the sandy bits, there's a wonderful place called the Flower Cave. Have you been there? It's this dramatic countryside, but also fantastic looking out on the coast and the rugged rocks.
Oh, no, I don't think I've been there. I've been most places around, well, not everywhere, obviously. But this time, we were normally, when I go over, we're on the West Coast. And this time, I think we're down at the southeast corner on the hotel. It's the oldest hotel on the island. I think it's the oldest hotel in the Caribbean. There's some great old pictures of people turning up and horse and cart and stuff like that. And some amazing people who stayed there. I think is it Buffalo Bill or somebody stayed there as well. So it's amazing history. So I'm looking forward enormously to that. But it's on the slightly cooler coast, I think, than I mean cooler weather-wise, not cooler-wise.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it.
I love the idea of Buffalo Bill on his holiday with his knotted handkerchief. He must have been having a 99 on the riverfront. Absolutely, be lovely.
Yeah, it's interesting, the people that went to the Caribbean, that you don't realize. Of course, you don't realize that sort of part of the English Civil War was fought in the Caribbean as well. In some ways, it's Cromwell was out there with his men, so there is a history from that era out there, which you don't realize. You think about the English Civil War just being England, but of course, it did spill over into parts of the Caribbean as well.
Absolutely. And you've got some great chums over there. I mean, Cliff's got a place over there as well. You bump into Eddie's over there as well. Eddie Grant, isn't he?
Yeah. I go see Eddie on him over there, and looking forward to getting out, playing a bit of road tennis and going around. And last time I went to, I forgot the name of it, beautiful old house, and it was great, and the family were terrific. Showed me around, and the guy that built it, I think Benedict Cumberbatch is one of his descendants, which is interesting. So I saw a picture on the wall and I said, that guy looks familiar. He's like the great grandfather of Benedict Cumberbatch, and he looked like him.
Funny. It is so extraordinary when you get those old pictures and look back on it, isn't it? But so definitely go and check out the Flower Cave, because that's sensational. The other thing which is wonderful, and you must have done, was Harrison's Cave. Have you been down those?
You obviously you go in the coves when you're there. I don't know what happens in the coves, and I don't want to ask you.
Well, that's glorious. They have all these stalactites and stalagmites, and you go down, and it's a glorious way. You escape the sun a little bit. So lots of.
Those are good. I mean, in Bermuda, one of the caves I went to in Bermuda was an interesting one. Circa 1902, two boys were playing cricket in the garden, and one of them hit the ball, and it went down a hole. And they think, oh no! So he put his hand down to get the ball. Nothing. Hand further down, and they started digging a bit more, and it turned out to be a massive underground cavern. And you can go down there now. It's lit, stalagmites, stalactites. It's breathtaking with lighting, and absolutely breathtaking. They never found the ball. It's still down there somewhere. But yeah, through that, just hitting a cricket ball in the garden, they discovered this massive underground cave, which is beautiful.
No, fantastic. Well, the other thing, people may not be able to fly for a little while. We still work out what can happen. But the staycation, staying in these glorious British Isles, are fairly superb. You used to go around on the road show, didn't you, with Radio 1 in the great days? Where were your favourite places to go and visit in the UK?
Oh, loved it. I just loved it all. I just loved the roadshow. Driving down on a Sunday, getting there and thinking, yeah, we got a week's worth of programs, rounders on the beach in the evening, all supper together, having a laugh, having a sing-song. It was just terrific fun. And it was amazing, because to get between 20 and 25,000 people watching a radio program was extraordinary. Weekdays as well. I know it was summer holidays, but it was phenomenal, really. I mean, wherever you went was different. It was, when we did Plymouth, we do a program from Smeaton's Tower. We do part of it up at the top there. We do everything. I mean, it was just wonderful. And obviously, you prefer the good weather. You look out the window in the morning, see the crowds accumulating, and hope that the clouds weren't accumulating as well. Looking just on the horizon, is it going to be a lovely day? What's the forecast? But whatever it was, people stuck with it, and we had a lot of fun.
Oh no, I love it, and the happy memories of those. It'd be lovely to see those back again. Those the Radio 1 road shows, and all the Mike Read road show would just be wonderful with different trucks, different entourage, but was still sensational. I grew up on the south coast in Bracklesham Bay, which is near Bognor Regis and Brighton and that sort of area, in Portsmouth, and glorious memories there. There's nothing like a beach holiday, is there?
No, it's great. I mean, and the nearest one we did there really was Southsea. We'd always do Southsea, and that was fun. I remember it was the last one of the run that particular weekend. And Smiley Miley, who did all our merchandising, loved getting involved. So I said, you go up on the ramparts of the old castle at Southsea, and maybe you could interview somebody. Oh yeah, off he goes, And the crowd are all looking up there. There he is in the distance. I said, is there anybody up there, Smiley? And he said, you're not going to believe this. He said, I got 6 nuns coming towards me. I said, oh, great, interview them. He said, are you serious? And I said, yeah, 6 nuns on Southsea Castle, wonderful. And of course, as he got closer, I'd organised the 6 nuns. There were 6 SAS guys, and they peeled back their coats, and they got these paintball guns out, and they hammered him. He looked like a paint box at the end of it. He had no idea whatsoever.
No, fantastic. Well, the other great thing about these places, the big places, they attract all sorts of entertainment. I used to work at lots of different clubs down there, and they would attract the greatest comics and musicians would come along and perform to really large crowds. And I know that still happens. For example, in Bognor Regis, they're at Butlins and places. A lot of the heritage artists come and do shows.
Oh, they do. Yeah, Bogdan's very good for that. And of course, it's been really streamlined and updated now. People still say, well, the Butlins and the chalets and stuff like that. But no, they've been really updated now. They're really pretty good. South Coast World down there, they've rebranded it. It's very, very good. Yeah, they have top entertainment, 70s weekends, 80s weekends, 90s weekends, themed weekends. So, yeah, very, very good. I bet. I mean, they'd be taking an enormous hit at the moment. I mean, everyone will. How everyone's going to get back again? How people sustain? I don't know. From the small people to the large people, people assume that because you're a big company like a Butlins, that it'd be fine. You'll sweep through it. But of course, they have more outgoings. They have more staff to pay. More staff on furlough. So it can be a problem. We just hope that everyone's going to get through it in the industry. And of course, no one's been able to play live for the last year, which has been monstrous for their income. It's just dried up completely for every artist that was out there on the road. That was their income. That's how they paid their mortgage, put the food on the table. And it's just been impossible.
And they've all adapted, trying to do these online shows, but it's not the same. I mean, you miss that interaction with the audience. I mean, you yourself, you love going out and performing to the big crowds, don't you?
Oh, yes. I mean, yeah, looking in the whites of the eyes, that's always the way, except when you see the bloke in a musical and someone will come off and say, second row, third left. What? He's asleep. You go, oh, no. And everyone else is chatting and clapping and applauding. And your eyes drawn to this guy, nodded off in the second row. It happens all the time. Yeah. I was talking to somebody yesterday. Oh, it was Steve Cropper, the guitarist, and he was talking about doing a gig, and everyone else is enjoying it. There's a guy in the front row with his fingers in his ears. You can't help but notice that, can you? Oh, is it really that bad? Brilliant.
Oh, glorious. Oh, fantastic. Well, no, but instead of the big crowds, you'll stop looking at the whites of my eyes or the reds of my eyes now as well. So it's always a joy. Mike, thank you very much for joining us and celebrating what should be planning vacation day.
Thanks, Andrew.
Take care. Bye-bye.